Hey guys, Dan Ward here at Ochco Bushcraft. I'm sitting in front of an emergency shelter that I just put up a few minutes ago. I was out doing one of my hikes and the weather started to change. So using 3 items that I carry in my pocket at all times and that I recommend everybody else carry whenever they're out. A Swiss Army knife, just a small hank of about 10 feet of parachute cord, and a 55-gallon drum liner. So as I said, I was out hiking, the weather started to change, it looked like some rain was going to come in. So just using those 3 items, in just a few minutes I had a shelter put up. I didn't go out and drag up a bunch of poles, I didn't cut any branches, didn't do anything dramatic. Just used those 3 items that I carried in my pocket to get this little shelter up that I'm sitting under. As you can see, the trash bag is right here coming around me and up over my head. I've got some tree boughs underneath me to insulate me from the ground, and that's about it. But hey, the wind was coming towards my back, and my back is protected from the wind. Had the rain started coming down, you know, the drum liner is over my head, it's around me and it's behind my back, I would have stayed completely dry as well as out of the wind, insulated from the cold. So anyway, using these 3 items, and guys, I'm going to say again, please, you know, when you're out, don't go with anything. Shove a couple of things in your pocket. Parachute cord, 55-gallon drum liner, pocket knife or Swiss Army knife. And should you be caught out in a sudden weather change, you can get a shelter up in just a few minutes. So I'm going to take my camera around here and try to show you what I did. It's really a simple process. Okay. So, as I said, I didn't go out and gather any poles, I didn't cut any limbs, I just used what I had with me. So what I found out here in the forest all around are small saplings growing, and I took some of these saplings and I bent them over. So here's one here that's bent over. Around here, 2 more saplings bent over, and back over here 1 more sapling that's bent over, and then underneath there was 2 small ones in here and I bent those over as well. So I took these saplings and I bent them all over together, and then I fastened them with parachute cord. So bent this one down, fastened it to 2 others which were already bent down here. I'll show you from the other side. These 2 here fastened together. Those were the first 2 that I did. Others come in from back over here, and then I've got the bigger one coming in from the back. So everything is all bent over together and fastened together with parachute cord. What this did is it gave me a framework for a shelter as well as some cover. All of the boughs from all of those saplings are now bunched up together in one area. So there's some cover and some shelter. If I didn't have a trash bag, I could probably real quick cut a bunch more boughs, grab up some pine needles, bark, throw it on top of this work, and still have an area underneath that was pretty dry, and a few more boughs in back, and I'd be able to block off the wind. So with the saplings bent over and tied together, I just took my 55-gallon drum liner and slid it open. Took 2 branches that were laying on the ground, one here, and just kind of laid them in here at an angle like you would on a lean-to, and stretched my 55-gallon drum liner around the back of them, tucked it up in here, tucked it around here behind the limbs, grabbed a few of the boughs off of the trees that were here. There was a dead fir laying down, and just heaped them up under here so I had some insulation under where I was sitting. And as I said, guys, in just a few minutes I had an emergency shelter from just 3 items that I was carrying in my pocket. And you know, I wouldn't have wanted to spend the night here, but Rainstorms come and go here all the time at this time of year, so I could have at least sat in there, stayed dry, and stayed out of the wind. So with that in mind, pretty much anywhere when you're out in the woods you're going to find small saplings, and all you really need to do is just take one like I just did, bend it over, and there should be at least one more by you. Take that one too and bend it over the other one. Okay, you now have two saplings bent over the top of each other. You can hold them down, take your parachute cord, tie them together right here, and then, you know, preferably you have at least one more so you can make kind of a tripod foundation. Bend it over the top of these two, and you now have the framework for a shelter. And you can take your poncho, tarp, trash bag, barrel liner, anything that you have with you that will repel water, and just put it over the top, you know, tie it onto the limbs or tuck it in the limbs, depending on what you got with you, and you have an emergency shelter to get out of the weather. So anyway, while I was down here, just to let you guys see what I'm doing, also decided to set up camp for a couple days. Hauled my tent down, threw a tarp up over the top of it, and I got me a little camp, and I'm going to stay out here for a couple of days and just enjoy myself, enjoy the peace and the quiet of nature. But while I was out here, as I said, I just wanted to give you a quick tip on how to throw up an emergency shelter using 3 simple items that you can carry with you wherever you go in your pocket. Guys, this is Dan Ward at Ocho Bushcraft. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay safe out there.